I can talk. I can talk for a while too.
Yeah,
It depends on what it is. If I don't want to talk about it, I won't talk. But fighting, I can talk about. I can talk about forever.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Knuckle Sandwich. I'm your host, Brandon Anderson, and today we have an interview with a very special fighter, a long-term veteran, 15 years in the game, and also a high school teacher that beats up people on the side. We've got Zack Hicks in the chair next to me. Zack, what's going on, brother? How are you?
I'm doing great, man.
Dude, I appreciate you accepting the invite for us to come and do the interview with you here in Nashville MMA, a really cool facility they've got going on here. Tell me a little bit about Nashville MMA.
I mean, I think we're the #1 facility-wise and gym-wise in the state. I mean, we have 20,000 square feet. We got full cage, boxing ring, guys in the UFC, coaches like Ronnie Lawrence, Dustin Ortiz, fitness area with the turf. I mean, we host fights in the back. So just, I mean, I love it here. It's my home.
I didn't know you
home away from home.
That's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, you talked about the trainers a little bit. Who are some of your like sparring partners or teammates that involved whenever you're going through fight camp and stuff like that for you?
So I got quite a few. One of my main training partners is Chris Ocon, who actually just fought for Brandon Allen UFC middleweight promotion down in Louisiana, called All In Fighting or All In Champion, something like that. And he won the 135 pro title down there against some guy out of Killcliff.
Very nice.
So he's probably he's a 135 around 45. So he's probably my main training partner. Dedrick Sanders, who's 7-3 pro, 55er. Patrick Crumpton, who he's 6-2 pro, was the Aries title holder. Charlie Alexander, he's kind of on the shelf right now for some health issues, but he's one of my main training partners. Ronnie Lawrence, Dustin, I mean, all the jiu-jitsu guys, I have a ton of training partners.
Yeah, because as soon as we walked in the facility, you were in the cage, hitting with Dustin, sparring with him a little bit, hitting mitts, going through the combinations and fight scenarios, it seemed like. But the vibe in Nashville MMA seems very serious. Like there's a actual goal in mind when training here, right? It's not like just come in, do whatever. It's like everybody's here for the common goal.
Yeah, for sure. At least the fighters are. I mean, we do have the jiu-jitsu classes and cardio kickboxing type stuff. But for the most part, if you're on the fight team, it's pretty serious. We have a pretty strict schedule. Yeah. You have to show up to a certain amount of training sessions per week, or you're pretty much off the team.
Wow.
So it's
So it's like you have to try out for the team.
Yeah, you have to try out. You can't just walk in. You can't just come in and spar. If we know a guy, I had a guy in Georgia who wanted to come by and spar, and I ran it by Dustin, and he could just come. Through me and Dustin's approval, he can come in and spar. But we have we also host a smoker here, which is an in-house fight. Okay. And a lot of those guys are trying to get on the fight team, so they might do some of the grappling classes, some of the kickboxing classes, but they're trying to put it all together and join the fight team. And that's kind of like a recruiting method for us. Yeah. Okay, this he's pretty good. Maybe we can let him join, let him try some of our fight team classes.
Very nice. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
And so we talked about earlier in my intro, I said you're a long-term vet, right? 15 years in the fight game so far. 2008.
Long,
you had a very long amateur career.
Yeah.
15-4, and then your pro career so far, 8-5 as a pro.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little about the determination, the dedication as a fighter for 15 straight years. What is that like?
I mean, it's hard. Because I started when I was 19 years old, I think. I've had so many ups and downs. I've thought about retiring multiple times. I torn both my ACLs and had them repaired. One of them was in 2021, so one was pretty recent. And then through my amateur career, every fight I had, I was in college at the same time. So I was working in college. I was becoming a teacher, so student teaching, but also fighting. And I was just racking up fight after fight. And once I graduated from Austin P, I got a job teaching down here, and I wanted to train at Nashville MMA anyway. So I just made the move down here, and that's when I turned pro. dropped to 135 for my pro debut, probably shouldn't have, and ended up losing that fight, and then won 4 straight, and had a few losses mixed in there, then a good win streak, and then got signed by the PFL for the Challenger Series, and didn't go my way, but it was still a cool experience.
Yeah, you just touched on a lot that I already want to touch on
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that answer right there.
Detail.
So
yeah.
let's start with, like I said, the dedication stuff, the ACL.
Yeah.
Like you said, 2021 was your most recent one. Talk to me a little bit about that. How did it happen, first and foremost, but then two, like what was it like kind of coming back from that?
So just like my one tour in 2013 is in wrestling. Like,
okay.
I feel like wrestling's the worst for like injuries. Like I never really get that injured sparring or anything like that, but in wrestling, that's where I've had serious injuries. Mm-hmm. So it was this kid he's 1-0 as amateur, good wrestler. I was letting him like work me against the cage, like let him work, and in hindsight, it was really dumb. I should have just like got off the cage, but he tried to like lift and return me, and I like posted my leg out, and he like, it was really weird. He like drug my body over my posted knee, and it just went pop, 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 like, and I've torn my ACL before, so I was like, I tore my ACL. Like, I was almost positive. I know how that feels, and I could barely stand on it. And a common misconception is it like hurts really bad afterwards, which it hurts at the time when it happens, but I was walking on it a few days later.
Wow.
And like, I was like, and people were like, well, maybe it's okay, it doesn't really hurt. I'm like, yeah, but my last one didn't either. Yeah. And I went and saw an orthopedic surgeon. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you tore it. He just did this test, did an MRI to confirm, and had surgery like a month later. And the rehab just sucks for that, man.
Yeah, because you took about a year, I think it was like a year and 3 months off, if I did my math correct.
Yeah, so, and I was coming off a loss too, so I was like, man, for the CFFC, which is good promotion. And so I was like, man, I was 31 at the time. I was like, should I just retire? Like, I was talking to my wife, I'm like, I think I might just be done. And my wife's always like encouraged me.
Yeah.
I don't know why sometimes, like, I think she just knows I love it so much.
Sure.
She's like, no, you're not. I don't feel like you're done. So she's a big part of my success.
For sure.
Because I mean, we have a kid, and there's a lot of time away from both of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it takes. I mean, long story short, it's been a lot of ups and downs, and I just love it.
Yeah.
That's the only way I could explain it.
Yeah.
My life's not right without it. Like after my PFL fight, I took some time off, and I was like, it's not living the life I should live.
Sure.
Like lazy, drinking too much, things like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, this isn't me. Like, I'm not happy like this. So got back in the gym and
heck yeah,
got back to it.
Got another fight contract signed.
Yep.
With your the ACL, I noticed that you've really started to prioritize more strength training, right?
Yeah.
You've been working with Tim Simish, if I said that correctly.
Yep, that's correct. Yeah.
Titans football player, or was at one point, right?
Yeah.
What's it like kind of implementing that and working with somebody at that pedigree for your strength training to go in addition to all the MMA and stuff like that?
I mean, he's like a magician, man. Like he comes up with like fight specific stuff that just seems like perfect, and I don't know where he even gets it from.
Sure.
He helped me rehab my knee completely. Like they released me from physical therapy, and he was just like really on the ball with strengthening my knee, and I feel like he helped me progress really quickly to get back to fighting.
Awesome.
And just the workouts he puts us through. He has all these like breathing techniques and like these breath holds that are killer.
Yeah.
But they seem very effective because the fight, like my cardio, since I've worked with him, I've never felt tired in a fight.
Yeah.
It's just, I feel like he's next level for sure.
Yeah.
Very underrated.
And so I feel like in your career, like you have, or early on, like you said, you lost your pro debut, then you went for 4 straight wins. You came off the ACL surgery, went on for 3 straight wins, right? Now, you talked about the PFL a little bit.
Yeah.
PFL didn't go your way, right? But what was the experience of the PFL like, the Challenger Series? Like, talk to me a little bit about that.
I mean, it was awesome. Like, I'd never fought for, obviously the UFC, PFL, Bellator. I'd never fought for those promotions. It's just ran so differently. They fly you in like a week early. You acclimate. There's all these interviews, and they like give you all the accommodations you need.
Yeah.
It's really busy. Like it is, like fighting locally is way different, or fighting regionally, because you're pretty much there from weigh-ins to fight night, and that's it. This is like a whole week long. So that experience, hopefully I make it back to the PFL or the UFC eventually, but that experience definitely, I'll be more prepared for my next time, because that week, the media and all that, it drains on you.
The lights are kind of blinding,
lights,
right? Yeah.
And then just like fighting for a big promotion, just stepping in the cage, it just feels different.
Sure.
Like it's just the big stage feel.
Yeah.
So I did feel that in the fight, and I think that kind of played a role in the outcome. Not taking anything away from my opponent. He's product out of SBG Ireland, like Conor McGregor, you know, all those guys. Like, he was good, but I don't think that was my best performance. It was terrible, actually. I didn't do anything good, but I you know, I still am proud that I made it to the PFL, you know.
Absolutely.
I just want to work my way back there.
Yeah, and like, you're still, in my opinion, still young in the career, in the pro career at least, right?
Yeah.
So I still feel like you have plenty of opportunities there for sure.
Yeah, I might not be young age-wise, but I feel young. I don't feel any different.
Fair enough. What was the training like for the PFL? Like, did you up the training camp intensity at all? Did you anything like that? Or?
For sure, yeah. Dustin Ortiz just got hired as our head coach, and he did a lot of pad sessions with me. I upped the strength and conditioning a lot. Just more consistent, like training pretty much every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely the intensity was up.
Do you feel like that is still continuing now, even though like PFL, it's not right now, your next fight's in Aries, right? But is that same intensity still in the training camps from then to now?
Yeah, for sure. Like I took some time off, but I feel like the momentum is still there and still doing the same things, because I know it sounds like cliche, but like every fight's your biggest fight.
Sure.
The fight you're about to fight is your biggest fight, always, so.
And I feel like a lot of guys now, like really when you start to get noticed by the bigger promotions, like that 8, 9, 10, 11 wins in the record column, and you're right there at 8. So it's like you still, that opportunity's still there. Like you said, the momentum's still there.
I think if I roll off 3 more, win this one, win a couple more, 11-5, like I think I could be back in the PFL, or maybe something short notice.
Yeah. So let's talk about your upcoming fight. December 15th, Aries Fighting Series, fighting Brandon Gator out of Law School MMA. You've been watching any film on the guy? I mean, how do you feel the matchup is against you two?
I mean, I always watch film. I know some fighters are like, I don't watch film. I watch film. Like, I don't care. I'm trying to get every advantage I can get. I mean, it's always different when you get in there, but you know, they might do something different. So I don't like be like, okay, he's gonna do this, this, and this. He's out of a good gym, Law School MMA. I know those guys very well. Nick Davis is out of there. Brian Hall, they've known me for years, so they're familiar with me for sure.
Yeah.
So I feel like I match up very well with him, strength for strength. I think I'm a better grappler. I think I'm better. I mean, I just think I'm the better fighter.
Sure.
But I think he's a tough opponent.
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from him. He's 5-4, not the prettiest record, but you know.
Sometimes it doesn't always like show really who the fighter is at the same time.
I think his record's a little deceiving. You know, he's fought some tough guys too. Like he's not just lost to, nobodies or whatever. Like he's had some tough fights. So I think I'm strong in some areas he's not so strong in.
Okay.
So I'm pretty confident I'll get the win.
Nice.
But not underestimating him, and I know it should be a good one.
What's kind of the mindset going into this fight?
Just to get, sometimes I can't even sleep at night thinking about my PFL debut. Like I was embarrassed. Like that's the word to describe it. People were like texting me like, oh, keep your head up. It was a good fight. I was like, it was not a good fight, first of all.
Sure.
It's a good fight for him, but not for me. And so I just want to redeem myself. That's the main thing. I want to like get that taste out of my mouth, because whenever I end on a loss and there's time off, I just think about that last loss.
Sure.
And prove that that's not me.
Yeah.
So just redemption. That's the word I'd use to describe it.
You feel like there's any weaknesses in Gator's game that you see that you can exploit in this fight December 15th, or are you trying to hold that in?
I'm trying to hold it off a little bit. I feel like there are some weaknesses that I can exploit, but I don't want to, in case he sees this interview.
Sure.
I don't want to put it out there.
Sure.
But I definitely think there's some areas, and I'm game planning with Dustin just now, and throughout this camp we'll we'll have a good plan ready to capitalize on that.
Yeah, man. Anything else you want to say about December 15th to the people? You know,
I mean, come out, buy your tickets now though, because I think we can hold 500.
Okay.
Because it's right here in the back of Nashville MMA, and buy your tickets now. I mean, there's tons of good pro fights on there. I got multiple teammates. Yeah, I mean, it's a stacked card.
Yeah.
I mean, even the amateur fights are stacked. So
yeah.
I mean, come out for me, but like come out for them as well.
For sure. So a couple rapid fire questions to end off the interview.
Yeah.
All right, ready? So I'm not letting you think. We're just going for it.
All right.
You ready?
Cool.
What is, number one, the best walkout song you've ever had?
Oh my God. I mean, my favorite artist right now is Zach Bryan. So probably Heavy Eyes, because I came out to that fight 3 fights in a row because I'm a little superstitious.
There you go.
And I'm like, okay, I won. All right, I'm gonna do it again. I won. I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah.
I'll just keep going. Like, if I'm winning with that song, I'm gonna keep playing it. So that's kind of how I operate. Then the PFL didn't play it, so that's probably why I lost.
That's it. What is your post weigh-in meal? What do you go to very first after weighing in?
Usually some type of pasta.
Okay.
And it could be like the cheaper Olive Garden pasta, but I always crave pasta. And I probably shouldn't say this, but like I always crave like soda afterwards. So I have like 1 soda. So my body just craves it after a weight cut, and orange juice for some reason. So I try not to go crazy, because I used to early on definitely in my amateur days, early in my pro career. I would kind of just eat what I wanted after weigh-ins, and that one fight I just felt like in the cage, like just real heavy and just gross, and I was like, I'm not doing that again.
Fair enough.
So probably pasta, Italian food.
I like it.
Yeah.
What is your best finishing move in the cage?
Probably rear naked choke.
Okay.
Like I feel like if I take anybody's back, I could choke them out. I could flatten them out. I'm really good at, in wrestling, I was really good at like putting hooks or legs in is what we called it, and like till now in my career, if I take someone's back, they're probably gonna have a hard time.
Gotcha.
So probably rear naked choke, darce choke.
Yeah.
I can darce. I feel like I can darce black belts, but I don't have a finish with a darce, so that kind of annoys me. So I'm trying to get that soon.
There you go. How many 10-year-olds would it take to get you to the ground?
10-year-olds? I mean, I'm gonna go with 10-year-olds. Some of them are kind of big. I mean, there's some big 10-year-olds out there. I would say maybe like 15, 20.
Okay, all right. Okay. And then who's your greatest of all time MMA fighter ever?
I'm gonna say George St. Pierre.
I like it.
It's a little old school now. I feel like people kind of discount GSP, but like, I mean, dude was good everywhere. Striking. I mean, he wasn't even a wrestler, and then became one of the best takedown artists in the UFC.
Okay.
Ended his fight ended on top, and not many people have. Like, I know some people think he lost to Johnny Hendricks, but he won technically, and then came back and beat Michael Bisping for the 85 title. I mean, he had a pretty clean career, avenged most of his losses, so definitely a GSP.
I'd have to probably agree with you on that.
Yeah,
one.
nice.
Any shout outs that you want to do?
Always my family, my wife, Beth Hicks, my son, because I spend so much time away.
Yeah.
It kills me, but it's gonna be worth it when you can look back on this. My management team, Ruby Sports, Ruby Entertainment, Steve Swedish, my manager, Team Reaper, one of my sponsors, all my training partners, Nashville MMA for letting me train at this beautiful facility. Let's see. That's it, pretty much. And you guys for interviewing me.
Hey, well, we thank you a lot.
Yeah.
And as a gift, you got your very own Knuckle Sandwich t-shirt now, so you can wear that out to the cage maybe one day. Who knows?
Yeah. I got you.
But Zach, I appreciate you being on the show, my man.
Yeah.
I wish you best of luck in December 15th,
appreciate it.
and can't wait to watch you fight.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.